This device, the HackRF One from Great Scott Gadgets. And this device can monitor and playback FM, LoRa, GSM, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi 5 GHz, alarms and ADS, B, Tetra and DMR, as well as GPS layer 1 frequencies on SDR basis. By default, it is capable of monitoring specific frequencies and replay attacks using control hardware. At the moment, we would like to add a Portapack H4M with Mayhem firmware for mobility. When combined with an ENT 500 antenna, it can operate over a fairly wide spectrum. This means that it can operate in the range 1 MHz to 6 GHz. The HackRF One itself can be connected to a PC, Mac or Linux system with a Type B cable. Once connected, it can be used to perform various signal saving or decoding techniques. By default, the Portapack device does nothing more than connect to these pins and control HackRF One. This allows significant mobility. While connecting, you have to be careful not to damage the pins, because it takes a lot of work if they are damaged. The specificity of the Portapack is that it draws power from the HackRF One via the pins. We'll take it apart in a moment and see exactly how. Well, let's see what you need to mount it. You will need a better quality combo pliers. This may not be necessary if you don't have the screws tightened on the HackRF One tool, but it's good to have a pair of pliers or a wrench that fits. You need a guitar pick to disassemble the plastic casing, because there are no screws there, and 2 stars screwdriver. So let's get started. The 3 red Santa package are removed from the end. Then you can clearly see that it is attached with nuts and bolts. These are carefully removed. Super. Underneath is a rotation stop and a spacer washer. Totally there should be 2 washers under each one. Okay, here are all 3. Loosen it. It comes off and the washers come off. The fact that the washers and everything are made of brass also show how demanding the assembly of the instrument is. The letter E is at the top. Accordingly, the 2 antenna outputs on the right are carefully tightened so as not to break. But I am left-handed, so I'll flip the whole things. I gently push it in and then try to open it all the way. It's done, and here's the other one. we go up and it almost pops off by itself. At this point it is easy to mess up because it is easy to break off the small plastic parts. It is important to note here that with the HackRF One device, from the moment it is connected the Portapack, this black outer cover is no longer needed, because the original functions will work throughout the Portapack and the device can be accessed from the PC. Now let's take out this cue sheet. What a quick look. Maybe we won't need the toe covers, so I put those away. And since we got our little ANT 500 antenna, I'm putting away one of the red Santa packs, because that's what's going to go on instead. And then look at what we leave on. As you can see, the device in my left hand is a complete mirror image of this. And the pins will have to be put together like this. Well, in the second part of the work, we'll dismantle the Portapack. To do this, we'll use the start screwdriver. We had previously prepared. 4 start screws will do. You have to be careful with this job because there are spacers in it, and the spacers is bolted on both sides. Now we insert the HackRF One into the Portapack and get it up and running. After removing the 4 screws, we remove the back cover. Here you can see the battery. And then here is the HackRF One. That's where it can go wrong if you don't put the pins on properly. Well, let's see. Yes, it is good. Everything is in place. The next step is to install the plastic panel. This must first be hooked into the bottom of the antenna. At the bottom, the little blue buttons are put into place, snap together. The 4 screws on the front are not removed now, but will have to be, because there is a film on the display that can only be removed by removing them. We also put the screws in the back. I'll check again to make sure the pins fit properly. Okay, it's good. At this point we put the screws into place and then you get the antenna. On the three antenna connectors, we connect the antenna to the separate one. But even if we turn it on, nothing will happen. At most the display will light up if there is some voltage in the battery. This is where the memory card slot is located. This must be removed and the Mayhem firmware loaded after assembly. After removing the memory card from the Portapack and inserting into your computer, search for the keyword Portapack Mayhem. Here the company's GitHub page is currently the first hit we open. There are different hardware versions here, like H2, H3, H4, of which H4 is the most powerful, and that's what we're going to need for now. From here you will need the Mayhem 2.1.0 version, firmware.zip, or actually which you will download. The memory card is attached, but we need to find out what number it has. This can be found out with the Diskutil list command. And here is it. At the moment we can see that our card has been assigned the number 4. The memory card is then formatted to FAT32 from terminal using the following command, which you will find in the manual. For large memory cards, formatting can be a problem on Windows systems anyway. The brew install HackRF command is used to install the official software of the computer. I will put this up before, so I don't have to do anything with it in this case. The firmware is then loaded onto the freshly formatted memory card. Then check the memory card and the folder structure. As I can see, everything is in place. But I'll show you a little trick here, namely how to add a custom login screen to our Portapack in a simple way. At this point, the short point is to put a BMP image into the root directory of the memory card with a size of 240 and 304 pixels. From now on startup, the Portapack will load the image that we have saved there as splash.bmp. Then put the memory card back into Portapack and check that the firmware has started and that Shrek appears at the home screen. It may be that the HackRF and Portapack hybrid tool is trying to load the default HackRF settings by default and does not see or perform the task at some point. In this case, the following line of code may help. We have a working Portapack H4M. The next task is to access the whole system from a computer, for which Mayhem developers provide an excellent GUI interface, so there is no need for a separate application, as connecting the laptop to the device via a serial port and cable makes it accessible. To do this, first open the HackRF.app web page from a browser with JavaScript enabled, which is the default settings. Just connecting. And here's the menu. On this page you can see that in addition to accessing the menu, you can also download and upload firmware updates and various folders, folder files. Here you can also see that there is so-called nightly release of the firmware, which is ahead in version number. It is less stable, but contains more improvements, of course. It is worth knowing that although the device has an excellent hardware architecture, it is also sensitive to low voltage below 3 volts according to Reddit chats. It is therefore not recommended to fully discharge it. I would also mention that the antenna part is very sensitive due to the wide spectrum and is almost experimental hardware. Therefore, when probing e.g. car remote controls or stronger signal emitters, it can be damaged. It receives too strong a signal. The first signal of this may be heating, which is far from being a problem, but it is recommended to pay attention to it in case of stronger heat emission. For basic usage, the audio menu is probably the best way to explain how the device works. To demonstrate this, let's look at a frequency of 89.5 MHz, which is a common radio station in my area. To be able to hear it, the spectrum setting is not appropriate. Instead, I am probing AM and FM modulation now. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was useful for you. I rarely share material here. If you are interested in similar topics, or perhaps paragliding is not too far from your mind, you may want to subscribe. Have a nice day, Ogre.